I'm a bird. Any other flavors? I have very delicate ears. Hey everybody, it's Alex. Welcome to my kitchen where we only cook healthy food that doesn't suck. What I'm working with today is roasted beets, vinegar, honey, an onion, various spices. So naturally, I'm gonna be making a roasted beet ketchup. You heard that right. This is one of my faves. I've made it before and I absolutely love it. So I'm excited to share it with you guys today. Roasting of the beets. I've already completed this step because it does take some time. All you do is take the fresh beet, cut off the bottoms, cut off the tops, cut it into 4, throw it on a baking sheet, olive oil, salt, pepper, into the oven. Takes about an hour at like 375 to get them so they're cooked all the way through, so you can pierce a fork with it. Then after the fact, you want to let them dry down. They're already dry. They've just been in the oven for an hour. You need to let them cool down, and then we're gonna take the skins off. So to take the skins off, you really just want to peel the majority of it off. Once they're already cooked, it's actually pretty easy to get them off, and then they don't stain your hands like they do when they're fresh. So I peeled these just this morning, and I don't have red fingers. Hot tip. So we're gonna get our food processor going again. All the beets into the mix. So what do you think of when you think of ketchup? Well, yum, probably the first word that comes to your mind, and more please, and yes, thank you, and please pass, all that. But flavor profile, we want to kind of make this very similar to what you would get in a regular ketchup, except instead of tomatoes, we're using beets, onion. Now, I'm going to saute this down a little bit, not a crazy amount, but really I just want to start releasing some of the flavors and start to get a little bit of that caramelized taste. Technically, probably should have put this in the oven with the beets to roast. That would have been a smart idea. Alex, think ahead. Small saute pan, a little bit of olive oil, just gonna get this started. Then I'm gonna coarsely chop the onion. It's all gonna go in the food processor anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Just don't cut your hands. Right into the pan, let that cook down a little bit. Let's see if we can find the actual ingredients. So the Heinz ingredients: tomato, vinegar, corn syrup, salt, spices, onion powder, and flavors. So we've got the tomato, AKA beet. We're gonna add the vinegar because it's one of my favorites. I love the taste profile, and it's got a little bit of live culture in the bottom of it, so it's a little bit better for your tummy. Now the next ingredient is corn syrup, not in my house. I'm gonna use just a little bit of fresh honey. Anticipation is making me wait. Pepper, they wanted salt, we're gonna give them salt. Salt. Now I think what goes really good with ketchup is mustard. Duh. So I'm gonna add like a teaspoon of that. I'm also gonna kick it up a little bit with some cayenne pepper. This is optional. Sometimes what I like to do with spices is I just like smell them and I decide if that belongs in there. And this one I say no. I'm gonna do a little bit of turmeric, 3 kicks of that, some ground coriander. Again, maybe like that much. As you can tell, I'm not being very scientific. I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil just to break everything up. Let's add in our onions. We could call these blackened onions, perhaps. Yum. Put on the lid. Let's go. So now we're just gonna be doing like consistency checks. Now, it's still pretty crumbly. It needs to be way smoother. So I'm gonna add some more olive oil. And I'm actually gonna add some tomato paste here. So that's gonna give it the real creamy consistency that you would get from the tomatoes. Let's try this again. Scrape it down now. Scrape it down now. This is starting to smell really good. What do I think about the consistency? Burr, 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 burr. It looks kind of like Jell-O right now. It's actually really good. It's a bit too tangy, maybe. Too much vinegar. So let's counteract that with some honey. If your honey gets really dense at the bottom, you can heat up some boiling water and just let it sit in the warm water for a little while, and then it'll all break up again and be nice and smooth. And we'll do a little bit more oil. Consistency check number 846. That's some ketchup. leave it in the blender for a little bit longer if you want it to get it extra smooth and creamy. But like, I'm totally into this right now. Okay, I've got certifiable mess here, but I've also got some amazing roasted beet ketchup. Let's see if I can get it into the container and not all over the counter. If you have a better way of doing this, let me know in the comments below. All right, guys, we have a great big container here of our roasted beet ketchup. This is perfect for dipping with potatoes, putting it on your burger. You can have it anywhere that you would normally have ketchup, and it's really, really tasty. And as you see, super easy to make. Although it does make a bit of a mess. If you enjoyed cooking with me today, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I hope today's recipe has spiced up your ketchup. See you next time. So tasty. You already know.